What has brought success to Real Madrid over the years? Money? It's also true, but many teams don't lack money and are not as good as them. The key is that Los Blancos know how to use their money and have the right plans for the long term. What I want to talk about here is that generations of Galacticos have brought so much glory to Real. Until now, a new generation of superstars has gradually been formed to open a new era for Peretz's team. In today's edition of The Locker Room, we take a look at what Real's new galaxy will look like. Let's start. The left-back position has become a difficult problem for Real in recent seasons. When F. Mendy was injured, Camavinga had to play in this position. When the player Mendy returned, he still could not ensure a solid wing corridor. Up to this point, good news has come to Real Madrid when a super defender is about to appear. So, who is he? Real Madrid is about to prepare to announce the Galacticos 3.0 squad in the near future. After Kylian Mbappe, it is Alphonso Davies' turn to be in the sights of the Royal Spanish team. Yesterday, many famous newspapers simultaneously reported that the Los Blancos leadership had reached a verbal agreement with the Canadian defender. The contract between Davies and Bayern Munich is only valid until the summer of 2025. Although Bayern really wanted to renew with the player born in 2000, all their efforts were unsuccessful. Davies' representative wants a salary of 13 million euros per season, but Bayern is only willing to pay 10 million euros. Therefore, Bayern's leadership is forced to put him on the transfer market in the near future to avoid losing everything in 2025. The price asked by Bayern is about 50 million euros, while some sources say that Real Madrid only put about 35 million euros on the negotiating table. It is unknown how this deal will take place. But with the appearance of Davies, Real's wing corridor will be much more dangerous. Since Marcelo's departure, Real Madrid has not yet found a worthy replacement for what the Brazilian legend left behind. Mendy suffered a serious injury last season, forcing Carlo Ancelotti to let Camavinga play in this position. Unexpected success when the French player played extremely well in this new role. But that is only a temporary solution because Camavinga is still a midfielder. He will maximize his abilities when playing in his strong position. Additionally, Camavinga himself admitted that he prefers playing as a midfielder rather than a defender. So, in the last transfer window, Real Madrid recruited Fran Garcia from Rayo Vallecano for 5 million euros. Despite being allowed to play quite a lot this season, in general, Fran has not proven too many things. The deal of Alphonso Davies joining Real Madrid is 90% likely to happen. The Real Mbappe PSG love triangle has been a topic of media discussion for a long time. Up to now, almost everything has been resolved. Almost the captain of the French team will come to the Bernabeu this summer. Not only that, it was also a grand opening performance like his idol, C. Ronaldo. The story of whether Mbappe will extend his contract with PSG now seems to be clear. Many people believe that the French striker will leave after his contract expires at the end of the season. Although he is still very tight-lipped about this, Coach Enrique's actions have implicitly determined that PSG's future will not include the services of Mbappe. Specifically, in the match against Rennes yesterday, PSG was behind 0-1. Although Mbappe did not have any problems, the Spanish coach still decided to take this player off the field and replaced G. Ramos. Even after the match, the coach personally spoke up about this story. We cannot always depend on Mbappe. There will be a day when he cannot play, but PSG still must fight and win. So Mbappe's future is clear. He will no longer play for PSG and will find himself a new destination in the summer transfer window. Although there is no guarantee, 99% of Mbappe will join President Perez's Galacticos 3.0 because Real has everything that Mbappe still has. Champions League title? Real Madrid does not lack that. They have 14 C1 Cups, more than double the number 2 ranked team AC Milan. And of course, they also possess what is called the DNA of champions. What about the Ballon d'Or title? This team also had up to 8 players who won this title, a total of up to 12 times. Among them, Mbappe's idol, C. Ronaldo, has 4. After many years of playing for PSG, Mbappe has accumulated quite a large amount of assets. Now is the time for the French striker to move on to a new journey, conquering his dreams and finding glory for himself. The greatest achievements for a player. In 2009, 24-year-old C. Ronaldo came to Real Madrid, becoming the most expensive player in world football history. He had a performance in front of 80,000 fans on the field, and the rest is history. At that time, Mbappe was only a 10-year-old boy. He wished that one day he would be like Ronaldo. But now, Mbappe does not need to wish anymore, because it is about to come true. Mbappe is 25 years old. That is a very beautiful age for him to continue writing pages of history like Ronaldo did. And of course, the day Mbappe puts on the royal white shirt, there will be more than 80,000 fans at the Santiago Bernabeu to welcome him to Real Madrid. The midfielder trio Kroos, Casemiro, Modric worked side by side and brought a lot of glory to the Bernabeu team. So far, Casemiro has left. Kroos and Modric are also uncertain about the future. However, there is nothing to worry about because the next generation is ready to take on the responsibility. The legendary midfield has owned 5 C1 Cups. Casemiro, Kroos, Modric were once the guarantee of Real Madrid's success. Now each has their own path. Casemiro came to Man United looking for a new path and is struggling with everything. Luka Modric will likely leave Real next summer. Kroos is still in good form, but people do not know when the German midfielder will retire. It's okay. Although the above people are very good, they are just a phase. Only the team lasts forever. That is also the goal of real managers. Real Madrid has been implementing innovation for 2 to 3 years. Since the 2018-2019 season, Real has added the following names: Federico Valverde for €5 million from Penarol and Brahim Diaz for 17 million from Man City. Camavinga from Rennes for €31 million, Tchouaméni from Monaco for €80 million. This summer, Real Madrid completed 2 deals. Arda Güler from Turkey for €20 million and especially blockbuster Jude Bellingham from Dortmund. Of the 6 midfielders below, Real is clearly divided into 2 groups. Group 1 includes Diaz, Güler, and Bellingham, who tend to create mutations and support the attack. Group 2 includes Camavinga and Tchouaméni. Valverde is a multi-purpose group, more defensive. Bellingham is actually extremely versatile, but with his effective contribution to the attack, it would be a waste to be ranked in the multi-purpose group. But adding too much is not necessarily good. The most important thing is that this group of young players radiates a very Real Madrid power without any effort. It is difficult to name that ability, but we all feel that these players can inherit the royal quality of Los Blancos. Look at the way Bellingham celebrated. A kind of royalty radiated, suppressing the opponent. Football is not only a story about tactics, but also involves the human factor. In this aspect, Real seems to have perfect preparation. A new generation of superstars has clearly formed. We don't need to describe too much about the power of this group of stars. If this summer's contracts really happen as desired, the new galaxy will be considered complete. If Real recruits Mbappe and Davies as planned, it will be considered that Real's new generation of superstars has been formed. The 3-man attack will be a trio: Vinicius, Junior Mbappe, Rodrigo. After Benzema left last summer, the famous VBC trio officially disbanded. Jose Lu's presence is of course only a temporary solution. From then until now, we have often seen Ancelotti use a tactical plan with 2 spearheads, Vini and Rodrigo, along with Jude Bellingham playing behind as a support, and often making inroads. Effective ban. If Mbappe can play as a center forward, the 2 flanks will be Vinicius and Rodrigo. In addition, young talent Endrick also arrived at the Bernabeu this summer. The Brazilian striker can play as a left-wing striker or target man. At the same time, Ancelotti will return to the familiar 4-3-3 formation. This summer, we are still unclear about the future of Toni Kroos, as well as Luka Modric. Even if these 2 players leave, the rest will still have to compete very hard to get a chance to play. Both of them will no longer be the number 1 choice in their positions. At that time, the trio of midfielders will be Tchouaméni in the holding midfielder position, the left wing will be Jude Bellingham, and the rest will be Valverde. Not only that, there are still players worth replacing if Jude Bellingham and Valverde cannot play. The first person is Brahim Diaz, the midfielder who played extremely well in his matches for Bellingham and had brilliant performances. The coach himself had to admit that Diaz deserved to play regularly. The other is Camavinga, who can play in a variety of positions. With the values shown during his time with Real, this midfielder also deserves to be in the official squad. Not only that, Real still has young talent Arda Güler. It must be said that Real owns a team of abundant and quality personnel in the midfield. In defense, the left-back position will of course be Davies if he comes to Real this summer. Speed and strength will be the factors that ensure Real has a solid wing corridor. On the opposite side, there is still no player coming to succeed Dani Carvajal. Moreover, the Spanish defender is still showing a stable performance at present. Along with that, Real still has many names that can take on this position well. In the central defender position, people are expecting the return of Eder Militao and Rudiger. Both will create a steel shield in front of the goal. The goalkeeper position in the next few seasons will still belong to Thibaut Courtois, along with the continuous development of Ukrainian goalkeeper Andriy Lunin. Overall, Real Madrid has a young and competitive squad. They are all names that can reach their peak within the next 10 years. The most optimal diagram of the Spanish royal team will look like this. To lead a generation of superstars, you need a qualified coach. Ancelotti has now done his job very well in bringing out the full potential of young players. But in the long term, will the Italian strategy still want to stick around for a long time? And when that happens, who will be worthy of leading the rebound? At the beginning of the year, the story of who Real's coach would be appeared in many newspapers. But everything ended when Ancelotti's deal to work in Brazil fell apart. Real has extended the contract with this coach until 2026. But that's a story from last year. Since then, the coach's story has had complicated developments. First, Klopp will resign from Liverpool at the end of the season. Nagelsmann is not sure to lead the German team in the long term. Hansi Flick is about to return. Tuchel was fired by Bayern at the end of the season. Zidane wants to return to being a coach. Xabi Alonso is extremely flourishing with Bayern Leverkusen. In addition, Mikel Arteta has also had contacts with Los Blancos. All of the above names bring hope for a different future for Real Madrid. Let's quickly analyze the names above. The first option is for Ancelotti to stay in position. His contract is still valid until 2026. Ancelotti's strength is promoting the values of Real Madrid. He has the ability to use and develop young players while still ensuring success. The weakness is that he is old, so he cannot commit to a further future. The second option is Jurgen Klopp. This is considered a reasonable option for Real. If Klopp takes office, he will have high-class players in the midfield position such as Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, to serve Gegen's physical pressing style of play. Klopp's weakness is that he just resigned from Liverpool because he ran out of energy. It will take at least one season to rebuild everything before starting again. The third option is Xabi Alonso. Xabi is said to carry Real Madrid's DNA after Zidane. What the former Real midfielder did at Bayer Leverkusen was extremely impressive, but he had no experience working with the biggest stars in world football. In addition, Xabi's experience as a coach is not as extensive as the names mentioned above. The next option is Mikel Arteta. He also has the same problem as Xabi in that he has no experience managing big stars. Furthermore, he is also very happy at Arsenal and is enjoying the results after years of building the foundation. Zidane still does not want to return to Real Madrid, and Nagelsmann seems to have failed in managing players at Bayern Munich. And those are the preliminary assessments for candidates for the future coach position of Real Madrid. The number of 14 C1 championships does not seem to stop there, especially when a new competitive generation has appeared. The question now is how long it will take to achieve the goal. But in the immediate future, it is still a group of players that promises to bring a lot of hope to fans.